Your home is not a storage unit for corporate profit margin. It is not a billboard for the calendar month, and it certainly isn't a stage set for an audience that doesn't live there. But if you walked into my living room 3 years ago, you wouldn't have known that. You would have seen a space completely colonized by the retail industry's idea of festive. Let's be honest. We need to talk about the Target trance. You know the one? You walk in for laundry detergent and a carton of almond milk. The lighting is bright. The music is upbeat, and suddenly you find yourself in the dollar spot, that dangerous little purgatory right at the entrance. It starts innocently. A $5 wooden sign that says, "Gather." A set of 3 ceramic pumpkins, a tea towel with a ghost wearing sunglasses. It feels cheap. It feels harmless. It feels like a little hit of dopamine to reward yourself for surviving the work week. I have a confession to make, and it's a humiliating one. 3 years ago, I realized I was paying monthly rent for a climate-controlled storage unit across town. I was paying $150 a month to house plastic tubs labeled Easter Patriotic Spooky Season and Winter Wonderland. I was paying nearly $2,000 a year to store items that I only looked at for 30 days a year. I remember standing in that storage unit surrounded by dust and plastic bins, holding a faux distressed wooden sign that said "Hello Fall," and realizing that I didn't even like it. I didn't even remember buying it. It wasn't art, it wasn't sentimental, it was just inventory. I had become the unpaid inventory manager for a life I wasn't actually living. I was trading my financial freedom and my physical space for mass-produced clutter that a marketing team in a skyscraper decided was essential for my happiness. That moment in the storage unit broke something in me. It forced me to ask the question that I want you to ask yourself right now before we go any further. It's a question that hurts. If you stripped away everything in your home that was bought solely to signal to others that you are festive or organized or keeping up, would there be enough of you left in the room to make it feel like home? Or have you simply curated a showroom for a season that passes before the credit card bill even arrives? We have to understand that this isn't an accident. You aren't bad with money or obsessed with stuff by nature. You have been groomed. We are living in the era of the calendar of consumption. Modern retail relies on a strategy called manufactured obsolescence of style. It used to be that you decorated your home once and maybe refreshed it every decade. Now the industry has successfully convinced us that our homes are stagnant and therefore embarrassing if they don't physically mutate every 4 weeks. Think about the timeline. January 2nd, the Christmas clearance vanishes and is instantly replaced by an explosion of pink and red hearts. February 15th, green shamrocks and pastel eggs. July 5th, it's already back to school and fall harvest. There is no breathing room. There is no neutral. The message is clear: if your sofa doesn't have a pumpkin pillow on it in October, you aren't participating in culture. You are failing at the performance of domestic bliss. This is the Target effect weaponized. It plays on our deepest insecurity, the fear of being boring. We use these seasonal props to project an image of a life that is put together, rhythmic, and traditional. We buy the illusion of occasion. We buy the ceramic turkey to prove we are a family that gathers even if we eat takeout on the couch most nights. We are trying to buy the feeling of the holiday, but we're only buying the packaging of it. And the cost. It's not just the $5 here and $20 there. It's the visual noise. It's the mental load of packing and unpacking. It's the environmental disaster of manufacturing millions of tons of plastic decor that will sit in a landfill for 500 years after providing joy for 5 minutes. We are drowning in a sea of good vibes, merchandise, and yet we feel more anxious in our homes than ever before. I finally purged the storage unit. I stopped the cycle. And today I'm walking you through the 9 specific categories of seasonal decor that I banished from my home and my budget forever. These are the items that seem essential but are actually thieves of your peace. The seasonal throw pillow rotation. Let's start with the biggest offender. The gateway drug of seasonal decor, the throw pillow. The psychology: why do we do it? Because it feels like the easiest, fastest way to change a room. You throw a pillow with a snowflake on it onto your armchair and boom, you've decorated. It satisfies that itch for novelty without requiring you to paint a wall or buy new furniture. It feels like a micro renovation for under $20. The hard truth here is the logistical nightmare nobody talks about. Pillows are bulky. They are the enemy of storage space. If you have 4 decorative pillows for Christmas, 4 for fall, and 4 for spring, summer, you are storing 8 to 12 large, fluffy dust mite collecting bricks in your closet for 11 months of the year. They get musty, they lose their shape. And financially, even at $20 a pop, a seasonal rotation costs you hundreds of dollars every few years as trends change. And let's be real, cheap polyester pillows feel terrible. You can't even nap on them because they're covered in scratchy sequins or stiff felt applique. The question, are you sacrificing the comfort of your guests and your family just to make your sofa look like a Pinterest board? The swap high-quality neutral inserts made of down or down alternative and removable covers. If you absolutely must have a seasonal touch, buy a linen pillow cover that folds down to the size of a handkerchief. Better yet, stick to high-texture neutrals, wools, velvets, linens that work from January to December. Let the texture dictate the warmth, not a printed graphic of a reindeer. The word art typography, you know exactly what I mean. Signs that command you to believe, gather, give thanks, or spooky. The psychology, this is instructional decor. We buy these because we are insecure about the vibe of our home, so we feel the need to literally spell it out. We want people to know this is a happy home, so we buy a sign that says joy. It's a shortcut to emotional depth. It's the visual equivalent of a laugh track in a sitcom telling the audience how to feel because the content isn't doing the job. The hard truth, it treats your guests like they are illiterate. It is visual clutter that your brain eventually tunes out, but your subconscious still has to process. It is the fastest way to make a home look dated because typography trends cycle faster than fashion. Remember, live, laugh, love. That is now a punchline. The farmhouse font you love today is the shag carpet of tomorrow. Furthermore, mass-produced sentiment is an oxymoron, a sign from a factory in China that says, family does not build family culture. The question, if you took down the sign that tells you to be thankful, would you actually forget to be grateful? The swap art, real art. It doesn't have to be expensive. A landscape painting, a black and white photograph, an abstract print. Art evokes emotion without demanding it. A moody landscape painting can feel cozy in the winter and grounding in the summer without needing to be swapped out. Let the atmosphere of your home speak so the walls don't have to. The themed wreath conveyor belt. The psychology, the front door is the face of the home. We feel a social pressure to signal to the neighborhood that we are functioning, participating members of society. A bare door can feel like a jagged tooth. A themed wreath, Easter eggs in April, dried leaves in October is a signal of togetherness. It's curb appeal currents. The hard truth, artificial wreaths are notorious for degrading. The UV rays turn the fake green plastic into a weird blue-gray within 2 seasons. The hot glue melts in the sun and the fake berries fall off. So you end up replacing them constantly. And storing them, it's impossible. They get crushed. You need those giant plastic clamshell wreath keepers which take up an obscene amount of space. You are essentially paying rent in your garage for a plastic circle. The question, is your front door a welcoming entry point for friends or a monthly magazine cover for strangers driving by? The swap one high-quality preserved boxwood wreath or a simple architectural metal knocker. If you want to acknowledge the season, use a ribbon, a velvet burgundy ribbon for winter, a crisp linen ribbon for spring. The ribbon costs $3 stores in a Ziploc bag and looks infinitely more chic and old money than a plastic wreath exploding with glitter. The dollar spot filler decor. The ceramic birds, the felt garlands, the miniature wooden houses, the plastic pumpkins, the little tchotchkes that clutter shelves, mantles, and coffee tables. The psychology, this is the target effect in its purest form. The price point is so low, $3 to $5, that it bypasses your rational brain's "do I need this" filter. It feels like free money. It satisfies the hunter-gatherer instinct. We buy it because it's there and because it's cute right now. The hard truth. This is landfill in waiting. These items have zero resale value. They are usually poorly made with paint drips and seams showing, but the real cost is the visual chaos. When your eye scans a room, every object registers as a task or a piece of data. When you have 20 little items on a mantle, your brain is working overtime to process that noise. It creates a low-level hum of anxiety. It turns dusting into a 20-minute ordeal. You become a slave to moving tiny objects just to keep your house clean. The question: are you decorating or are you just covering surface areas because you're afraid of negative space? The swap consumable decor. Nature. A bowl of real apples in the fall. A vase of fresh clippings from the yard in the spring. A beeswax candle. When the season is over, you eat the apples, you compost the clippings, you burn the candle. There is nothing to store, nothing to dust. It is life, not plastic. Holiday-specific tableware. The Santa-shaped appetizer plates, the mugs with bunny ears, the salad bowls shaped like autumn leaves. The psychology, we have a fantasy of the perfect dinner party. We imagine a scene where everyone laughs and the table looks magical. We think the magic comes from the props. We believe that orange juice tastes more festive if it's served in a glass with a vampire on it. The hard truth, cabinet real estate is the most valuable territory in your kitchen. Why are you giving up prime territory to plates you use once a year? You are likely shoving your everyday plates into awkward stacks to make room for a turkey platter that gets used for 20 minutes. It's inefficient. Also, let's be real, cheap, seasonal ceramic often chips easily and isn't microwave safe. The question, do you want a kitchen that works for you every day? Or a kitchen that works for a hypothetical party you might host once a year? The Swap Classic White Porcelain. White plates are the little black dress of the table. They work for Christmas, for July 4th, for a Tuesday pizza night. Dress them up with napkins, fresh flowers, or food. Let the food be the decoration. A beautiful roast chicken looks better on a white platter than on one painted with cartoon pilgrims. The themed bedding and towels. Santa's on the duvet cover. Hand towels embroidered with Be Mine for Valentine's Day. The psychology. This is about total immersion. We want the hotel experience, but themed. We want to wake up and immediately be reminded of what day it is. It feels like extra credit homemaking. It's the detail that shows you really have your life together. The hard truth, linen closets are usually the most disorganized spaces in American homes. Adding bulky comforters and stacks of towels that are season-specific is a recipe for an avalanche every time you open the door. Furthermore, themed textiles are usually lower quality. You're trading your high thread count Egyptian cotton for scratchy poly blends just because it has a snowflake pattern. You are downgrading your sleep quality for a visual gag that you can't even see when your eyes are closed. The question, does sleeping on a pumpkin print sheet actually make you feel more rested or just more marketed to? The swap layering. Use your high-quality white or neutral bedding year-round. Add a heavy wool throw blanket at the foot of the bed in winter. Remove it in summer. Change the texture, not the print. The yard inflatables and excessive outdoor plastic. The psychology, this is the keeping up with the Joneses amplified to 10 feet tall. It's competitive joviality. If the neighbor puts up a Santa, you need a Santa on a motorcycle. It's about signaling abundance and spirit to the community. The hard truth. They look terrible in the daylight. There is nothing sadder than a deflated nylon snowman lying in a puddle of mud on a Tuesday afternoon. They consume electricity. They kill the grass underneath them, and they are made of non-biodegradable nylon and plastic that will eventually tear and end up in the trash. They turn your front lawn into a carnival, midway destroying the architectural beauty of your home. The question, are you trying to create beauty, or are you just trying to be the loudest house on the block? The swap light. Just light. Warm white string lights or landscape uplighting on trees. Light is magical. It highlights the architecture and nature that is already there. It is classic, waste-free, and doesn't look like a crime scene when the sun comes up. Single-use party good. Paper napkins with turkeys, plastic tablecloths with bats, disposable cups with hearts. The psychology, convenience masquerading as festivity. We tell ourselves we don't want to do dishes, so we buy disposable. We justify the waste by saying it looks cute. The hard truth, it is literally throwing money in the trash. It feels cheap to use. A flimsy paper plate that buckles under the weight of food is not a luxury experience. It sends a message to your guests that the event is temporary and disposable. And ecologically, it's a disaster we can no longer justify. The question, why buy something with the sole intention of destroying it? The swap cloth napkin. You can buy a set of 12 cotton napkins for the price of 3 packs of disposable ones. They wash. They last for years. They feel better on your face. Using real plates and real glass elevates even a simple meal. If you hate washing up, ask a friend to help. That's where the real bonding happens anyway, at the sink, not in the decor aisle. The sentimental plastic clutter. This is the hardest one. The cheap decor you bought 10 years ago that you keep putting out because it's tradition even though you hate it. The psychology, the sunk cost fallacy mixed with nostalgia. We attach memories to objects. I bought this plastic skeleton the first year we moved in. We feel like we are betraying our past selves if we get rid of it. The hard truth. If everything is special, nothing is special. When you hold on to mediocre decor out of guilt, you crowd out the things that truly matter. You are letting the past choke the present. Your taste has evolved. You have evolved. Your home should reflect who you are now, not who you were when you were 22 and shopping at the dollar store. The question, does this object bring me joy today, or does it just remind me of a time I'm afraid to let go of? The swap curated memories. Keep 1 or 2 truly special items. Photograph the rest and let them go. Create new traditions that are based on activities, baking, watching specific movies, taking walks rather than unpacking boxes. I know this sounds intense. I'm not asking you to live in a sterile white box. I'm not the Grinch coming to steal your Christmas. I love the holidays. I love the changing of the seasons. But I realized that by banishing these 9 things, I didn't lose the spirit of the season. I found it. When I stopped spending my weekends wandering the aisles of big box stores looking for filler, I started spending my weekends actually living the season. I went hiking to see the real leaves instead of buying fake ones. I baked real pumpkin bread instead of buying a pumpkin-scented candle that smells like chemicals. My home feels lighter, my bank account feels heavier, and my storage unit, it's gone. That monthly payment now goes into a travel fund, into experiences that I don't have to dust. So here's my challenge to you. The next time you feel that pull, that Target trans taking over, and you reach for the pillow with the embroidered turkey or the sign that says spooky, just pause. Take a breath. Put it back on the shelf. Walk out of the store with empty hands. Go home, light a real candle, embrace the negative space, and realize that the most beautiful thing you can display in your home is your own peace of mind. Don't let the marketing calendar dictate the rhythm of your life. You are the architect of your own joy, and that is something you can't buy in the dollar section.